Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again. Oh, whoa, that's my bad. It's not your phone. Hang on a minute. Flip your phone back over. Let me fix this. All right, got it. That should have fixed it. Sorry about that, folks. Hey, I'm coming at you again for another Appalachian Trail community news and Thru Hiker update. So, another busy week out there on the Appalachian Trail. Bubble mainly is now away from Amicalola Falls State Park and moving on up the trail. And lots of hikers, though, that are still getting out there on the trail, still starting their journey. So that's awesome. But we're going to talk about them and who is out there on the trail right now. So let's go ahead and get started. So Trainwreck, he is somewhere around Damascus. Barsh Gremlin, he is north of Pearisburg, somewhere around the Triple Crown. Patriot and True Blue, they have returned to the trail. They're at Damascus, and they are nearing Marion, Virginia. They have a car and they park it, shuttle south, hike north to it, then they shuttle north, hike back to the car, and then they flip the car back up and do that all over again. So we had a guy 2 years ago that had two cars. So he would take one car, leapfrog it up to the other, hike back south to the other car, and then leapfrog north of that car and hike south again. So he was always hiking Sobo, but always moving Nobo. I called that a Bobo, both ways bound. So I guess that's the same way with Patriot and True Blue. They're both ways bound. They're just doing it with one car, which seems pretty expensive, but the other guy had to buy a car, so that's expensive too. But anyway, let's keep going. So Crossword started his flip-flop at Rockfish Gap. He's going north Katahdin and then coming back down. Aquaman, he is past Pearisburg and is seeing the front end of the crowd now. He is our first Sobo hiker, started real early when most Nobo hikers started, when Katahdin was frozen and it was open and he could get out there. So in a few days, he is really going to be in the thick of the bubble. So he says he's having a blast still out there, and he's so excited about the last 600 miles. So he's only got 600 miles of his journey. And lots of folks have been seeing him throughout the course of it, taking pictures and stuff. So that's just been neat to see people running into Aquaman, or Aquaman running into them, how you want to look at it. Blaze Dog, he is hiking through the Virginia Triple Crown, and his support team of Shows Up almost stepped on a copperhead while she was kind of hiking in. So typically she will meet him in a trailhead somewhere, and then he'll hike and she'll go around, shuttle around, and he might be out there for a few days, or she may be slack packing him, but she will hike in to see him, and she almost stepped on a copperhead. So Jake the Snake is out now, folks, so just be aware of that and look out for him, because he's designed to blend into his surroundings. Letterman, Straps, Chatterbox, Boston, and T, they have hit the quarter-way mark and also at the 600-mile mark. So Letterman says the trail has been great, says the AT diet is rocking his world, and he has almost lost has lost 31 pounds. So that is awesome. Flags, who is part of our UK contingent, coming over from England, he started on Tuesday and is currently just past Neil's Gap. He says so far he had 6 hours of rain on day one, thunderstorms on day two, and snow on his last night out there. So he's hit all of them, plus he's hitting spring as well. Alias is in the Triple Crown, and he met Aquaman at Angel's Rest Hotel, so I'm sure that was pretty neat to those two coming together, because Alias he's one of our first ones out there, and he actually I'm pretty sure he's a U.S. citizen, but he actually came from over in Europe somewhere. Alias, I know you watch, so let us know where you did come from down in the description section, or down in the comment section. Spotter is out of the Smokies. Congratulations to her on that. She did have to go to urgent care because her hands got completely blistered in the sun. So I guess she's fair-skinned. So fair-skinned folks, they can get blistered like that, and her hands swelled up so bad her knuckles disappeared. So maybe that's her new trail name, No Knuckles. But anyway, she went in and got treated and shared these photos with us, so appreciate that, Spotter. And just a warning out there that you can get burned even in cold weather. So right now it's been chilly. People can still get burned out there, particularly fair-skinned folks. So some people wear sun sleeves. You'll recall that Ultra Hiker, she had sun sleeves on, and when I've hiked with her, she's had sun sleeves on as well. And then also they make sun gloves, so that's just something to keep the UV rays from getting to your skin like that. And then particularly even in cold weather, you can get burned because you don't realize you're getting burned because it's cold outside, but you're still getting those UV rays in there. And that apparently is what happened to Spotter. So hope you get those healed up, Spotter, and look forward to seeing you back out there. Florida Flats and Maytag team, they have made it to Irwin. Wolfpack Tramley, they're took a 0 in the knock, and they are on their way to Fontana. And the Wolfpack is made up of Papa Bear, Green Bean, Helium. Just rub some dirt on it, which is a lot of syllables for a trail name, but nevertheless, Achilles, Koozie, Pup, and Ketchup. And that's ketchup like dog catcher ketchup, not like the condiment ketchup. So Gadget Mosey, they are around Rockfish Gap. Chief is doing a flip-flop. He's currently heading north around the Waynesboro, Pennsylvania area. He attempted a Sobo last year, but he had to leave the trail right before Vermont due to some foot injuries. He had to go have surgery, and now he's trying out new feet. I do not know what possessed him to try out new feet in Roxylvania, but that is his story, and he's sticking to it. So best of luck to you. Shannon has started her AT flip-flop through hike from Harper's Ferry, and she is currently Nobo. Bugs has left Franklin to the NOC and plans to be in Fontana this weekend, and he'll be looking forward to hitting the Smokies next week. Scooby and Trail Snail, they should be around the Franklin area by now. Radioactive, he should be in the Triple Crown sometime right now and Monday. He also ran into Aquaman up there and said that he rode out thunder and lightning last couple nights up there in the around the Paris Ledges. He says that was real fun, but he did stay relatively dry, but he is still having the time of his life out there. Groceries is around mile 320 heading into Irwin in some cold weather and cold temps. Crockett's around Blairsville. The Hiking Dancer, Come Along, Little Chap, Disco, Out and About, Fox, Focs, Cheeseball, Frodo, they are all in Hot Springs or were in Hot Springs. They have probably, with the weather that's cleared up now, they have probably all headed out by now. Gaia started her flip-flop at Harper's Ferry, and they gave her bag tag number 34. Beth Yates has a trail named Rooster. Outback is entering the Shenandoah National Park the first of the week, and currently he's somewhere around a mile 818. And he says it's snowing, so that was a day ago. Doug and Donna, they should be past the 100-mile mark. Secretariat, he is up and over Killatin Peak in Vermont. So congratulations to him. A lot of Vermont for him has been frozen, hadn't been mud, so because it's still pretty cold up there in Vermont. But anyway, Killington Peak's pretty neat, so good to see him getting over that. Moose Liver, she is back for a through hike on her 4th attempt. Stillwater Hiker, also known as Rock and Roll, is in the Roan Mountain Highlands. Lazarus is in Grayson Highlands Wise Shelter yesterday, but the snow and the falling temps forced 3 of them back southbound, and they had to get back to Massey Gap down to lower elevation. They said it was still snowing in the Grayson Highlands, and the low temps and the wind chill of around 12 degrees. They just had to get out, and sometimes the smart thing to do is drop back and punt. That's what they did. So congratulations on doing the smart thing, getting out of there. Otherwise, you may have been rescued, and that puts rescuers and yourselves at risk. So smart thinking. Rick and Sherry, they're in Damascus, and they have survived the snow at Vanderbilt Shelter, and they'll be slack packing back, I guess, and going to finish up that last 16 miles into Damascus there. So Vanderbilt Shelter is one of my favorites out there. It's got a great sunrise and sunset. You look out over Watauga, I believe it's Watauga. Yeah, it's Watauga Lake, and it is pronounced Watauga. And you see the clouds kind of form a layer there, and it's just really, really gorgeous. It is haunted, however, so just to let you know that. So we did have some folks that got off, unfortunately, this past week, and even maybe before that, but particularly folks that I have just found out about and have reported into me. So Pell Ryder, he got off due to a torn meniscus in his knee. Ouch. So he's had to end his hike for the year, but he made it as far as Deep Gaff. Rick Masters is off due to some sickness and had his wife come and pick him up so he could go home and try to heal from that and get better. But he realizes now that he's home that home is really nice, really comfortable, and he just may not be coming back. So he bids us adieu for the time being. Hill Dog had to get off due to plantar fasciitis, and I can certainly sympathize with that. And he had it in both feet. Hey, I can testify to that myself. Bob Garza, he got off at Standing Indian Mountain due to an injured knee. He decided to call a hike just because he didn't want to have to worry about having to be rescued out of there. So thumbs up for that, for you, Bob, for doing that, not putting rescuers there at risk. But he said he loved every minute of it, wouldn't trade it for anything. Farnsworth is off since Great Smoky Mountains National Park due to a quad injury. He may try again in 2023. Tori, Blaze Dog's hiking partner, he left the trail this week. He had some pain from an old Army injury, and it just became too much, so he made it all the way to Central Virginia. That is no small feat for him to do that. Spoons, who was Letterman's hiking partner, got off due to a knee injury, and not sure, he hasn't reported back from the doctor yet, so not sure what his future for this year is going to be like. Tennessee's off the trail for a possible stress fracture to the right foot, but hopefully will be back in the trail in a week or so. He is got off somewhere around Foothills, Hot Springs. Boots is off. Not Boots off, but Boots, the hiker, is off after 333 miles due to shin splints. Sympathize with that. Had those in basic training, and that was just due to a lack of arch support. So maybe he can get some arch supports, and that'll take care of it. Polly and Lucky Charmer, they are our Irish contingent, and they have left Franklin on the way to the Knock. So that is awesome. Thanks for all those folks that report again, those that are still out there on the trail, and those that got off. Thanks for telling me you got off, and I can communicate that to folks out there because we care about you. And when you don't report in, particularly those with social media, and you have been for a while, we get worried about you. So could be a Snake got you, Jake the Snake could have got you while I was out there, or Bob the Cougar, or Bill the Bear, or any of those folks could have got you while there's out there. So our registrations have climbed up. They have really dropped off now. So we are just up, just not even 100 hikers total over last week. We did add a few Nobo folks there, up from 3,446 up to 3,507, up about 10 on the flip-floppers, 13 on Subo, and so overall we're up less than 100. We were up from 3,785 last week. We're up to registered with the ATC 3,869 so far. Probably some more flip-floppers are registering. Probably some more Subo will be registering as we get closer to those dates. We did hit the 2,664th hiker to check in down at Amicalola Falls State Park. So that's a ton of folks that have checked in so far down there. So one word about the 18 hikers that are registered to start June 1 on Katahdin. Don't count on it opening then. A lot of times Katahdin is delayed. And now last year it opened May 30th, so you're good to go on June 1st. But a lot of times it's just unpredictable when it's going to open. If they've had a bad winter and then it's gotten warm up there, and that snow melt is still coming down the mountain, creating muddy conditions that if you hiked on it and they let a bunch of hikers up there, that would cause damage to that alpine environment. They will not open that trail until the conditions are just right. So a lot of times I've met people before on hikes that were through hiking that came through and they did not have, they didn't finish their hike. So they started Sobo, but Katahdin was closed. They already had their plane ticket, so they got into Baxter State Park, couldn't get up there, so they just went ahead and started on their hike, thinking they might get back, but then they just never went back, either due to funds or didn't take the time to do it. And then when they got to Springer, they either didn't have the funds to go back and do it, or they were just done. So in any case, just keep that in mind, folks. Keep watching the weather, and when they open up there, look at the Baxter State Park Facebook page. I'll keep watching it, and I'll keep posting whenever I hear some information out there. So we got some trail news out there. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park announced this week that they're going to be having some numerous fee increases throughout the park. So one thing for thru hikers in 2023, the cost of a permit's going from $20 to $40. So that's a 100% increase on the cost. Now, I'm all about looking after our greatest natural resource there. It's the most visited park anywhere in the national park system, and so I do think we need to look after it. I do think that those increases should be proportional, and they're not. So they've increased backcountry permits and camps and registrations by 100%, whereas other places, other camping, other venues there in the park have not gone anywhere near 100%. And also, they are going to start charging for parking there. So, they've indicated that in recent years, they say that the park's use has increased 39% since the last time that they raised the fees up there. So, if the park's use has increased 39%, why not just go ahead and increase the rates 39%? Or what the heck, even 50%? But at 100% for backcountry permits, I think that's too much. That's just my opinion. Leave a comment down below if you have an opinion of that, or if you don't, leave a comment down below anyway. But that just seems out of balance to me. And then, of course, hopefully everybody weathered the huge weather system that came in. A lot of folks had to get off trail because of that. Would be interested to know through the comments down if you had trouble finding a place anywhere at a hostel or getting off the trail like that. A lot of people had to stay on the trail and were at a shelter somewhere. Folks going through the Smokies, if they stayed in there, they endured about 6 inches of snow as well as some ice and stuff through there. So, and I'd already mentioned earlier about some folks that were in Grayson Highlands and they had to backtrack and come out. So, got a report from another hiker about a hiker that has been going through unattended backpacks in the Marion, Virginia area. And this particular hiker is not a thru hiker. He's just hiking north. He's Caucasian with dark hair. He's a smoker and typically hikes in sweats. So that ought to be easy to pick out because really nobody hikes in sweats this thru hiking out there. So I got some more information, but I'm not going to nail down exactly who that is. Just be on the lookout for somebody like that. And everybody really should be keeping their packs buttoned up and really keeping your packs with you when you go and stuff. I know that it's to take it to the privy is typically you don't have to do that, but hopefully you've got somebody there that you can trust that's maybe you're hiking with or something that you can leave it in the shelter or put it in your tent, zip your tent up if you're tenting, and then that way most people are not going to go through your tent to do something like that. Then I want to give a shout out to Forrest Gremlin. He sent me a St. Bernard medallion. So that is just awesome. He was on the trail up in Pearisburg, and I think he acquired some of these from his sister or somebody. But anyway, greatly appreciate you thinking of me. The St. Bernard was confirmed as the patron saint of the Alps, along with skiing, hiking, mountaineering, backpacking, and that was back in 1923. So appreciate that. That is where the St. Bernard dog breed got its name from. So thanks a lot for doing that, Forrest Gremlin. That means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate that. I'll hang on to this, particularly when I'm out there on the trail hiking. And then shout out to Tony from the YouTube channel, Random Adventures 2.0. He has had a stroke a couple weeks ago, and he's had some huge improvements, particularly in his speech. So I had asked that y'all go to his YouTube channel, leave him some positive comments, just helping him heal with that. You'd be amazed at how much positivity helps people to heal. So I asked that you continue to do that. One of the things was that he was really pumped up because at that time, he had just crossed over 500 subscribers. And so I asked you to go and people start subscribing, and let's punch that number up to 1,000 subscribers. And you guys came through. Right now we're at 911. So he's only got 89 more subscribers to go till he gets over the 1,000 mark. So thanks a lot for you guys doing that. So continue to do that. Continue to share that with people you may know that have had a stroke before. He's going to share that as he goes through his rehabilitation process of getting all his arms and limbs and everything going back together. So we appreciate you sharing that with with us, Tony. I appreciate you, hiker community, going out there and doing that. And so let's continue to do that, especially to get him over that 1,000 sub mark. And then here's something. Imagine this that I don't understand about the ATC. So the ATC headquarters in Harpers Ferry still remains closed. It's been closed for years now. I get it was closed for COVID, okay, but everybody else now is open for COVID. Everybody's taking down their shields. People are taking off their masks and gloves and all this neat stuff. So if you're scared to open because of COVID, go ahead and open up and just do all the protocols and stuff. Even though the science isn't there for it, go ahead and do that. But they have refused to open up. They claim that they announced in February they would be closed briefly for a deep cleaning. I don't know what the heck a deep cleaning is. I guess you really get in there and scrub it up, but it's the end of March. No, this is April, and they're still closed for cleaning. And they're still not accepting mail from through hikers or section hikers or whatever. And they're telling you, directing you to send it to the Harpers Ferry post office when they know, and they've put it out on their website, that the post office is not the best place to send your resupply because they're limited hours of operation and they're not open on Sundays, and not their hours are really short on Saturdays. So you got to time it just right to get to the post office. And they know that, and they refuse to accept hiker boxes up there, food boxes and junk boxes and stuff like that. So I just don't understand that. So here's what I'm suggesting that you do. If you contribute to the ATC, stop sending them a dime until they get that freaking place opened up there. There's no reason, if they can afford all of these folks on their payroll up there, that some of these folks can come in and dress in hazmat suits on a rotating basis, and let's get that place open and do something for the hikers up there. So just stop sending them your money. Send them Lysol and rags. It seems that's what they need so they can do their deep cleaning while they're up there. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I have started a Patreon account this past week. So instead of sending your money to them, if you believe in me and believe in me more than the ATC, and you think I'm helping hikers more than the ATC, then head on over to my Patreon account. I got a link up in the banner and a link down below in the description, and you can send me what you're sending them, and I can guarantee you I'll put it to good use. Seriously, though, folks, thanks for all your support you've given me for the past couple of years as I've been doing this, and continue to do this, and you continue to comment and sub and give me those thumbs up. That really helps me grow this channel, and I appreciate that. If by some stretch of the imagination you really do want to go and help support this channel through Patreon, partner with me and help me to grow the hiker community and support the thru hikers, like helping me with paid media, like putting together, getting a website, putting that together, the money that it takes to have a website and run it and start creating merch and stuff like that. Trail angel days where I can go out and help people out there directly on the trail, or maybe contribute some of these trail angels. That would be awesome if you would do that. But whatever support you want to give me, be it through Patreon or just through this channel, I want to thank you so much. You guys are great, and I love it. And that is why I continue to do this, because the hiker community is just such an awesome community. So the links down below is also over there on the banner, and appreciate any help you can do for that. But as always, folks, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.